Hello and welcome back to the Polar Bear Community. It's under Paul Wellington. And today's episode, we're going to continue and reforge the clan system, as we have seen last time. This time, in this series, we have gone with less exiles. We didn't return all of them, and we crushed the other clans by force afterwards, creating a middle ground path without being the most extreme, without being the most kind either. And that has caused us to go down and work towards becoming the King of Winter. And that is our plan, and then we'll begin forging ourselves up into greatness. A natural law. Carpe diem, so Trick Book said. For bright-eyed unicorn exchange students in the capital of the polar bear communities, an opportunity to offer a second legal opinion on some new Western government proposal would pave the path to revered law firms back home. So when her professor told her of a university-sponsored trip to Grfigvida for just that, she took it. But now, frozen like a popsicle, standing before a certain armored and axed and definitely humongous polar bear that could devour her in seconds, Mr. Teksha gulped, realizing too late that she was in bear territory, or that was bear territory. Her fear did not subside when Taksha lifted her to a bear-sized table to critique a draft of the new polar bear constitution. That fear became dread as she read on about 3 parallel legal systems. One for the clan, based on the bear's native meritocracy, where rule of law was determined by ritual battles as much as legal precedent. One for the clanless, ruled by benevolent warlords that could be voted for, inspired by Alexander Crimsey's Hertzland generals having to oversee foreign griffins. And one for aristocracy that didn't have contiguous territories, but properties scattered across clan and clanless lands, following the princess's court of Equestria, whose legitimacy was established solely by King Jorik's choice. 36 circuits, 3 supreme courts, which could operate with each other, to be checked by the king himself, through ritual battle and legal debate. Halfway through, that fear had been replaced by a massive migraine. If she helped the fledgling bears get a hoofing on the international stage, that would be great. But it was a mess. It was the best of 3 worlds. Look, judging by those things I'm about to get, it looks more like the worst of 3 worlds. New clan hierarchy. Yeah, I'd consider that the worst of 3 worlds, really. Look at all that negatives. Yeah. Polar bears are not one for great celebrations. Even few victory parades and feasts after great military victories are not the most luxurious events. This shall not be changed for the most part. Luxury and decadence has no place in our society, but the coronation of the first king of winter deserves to be grand. And let's promote the last guy, because why not? Might as well have everyone promoted, right? Ugh. At least he's giving a minus 15 to some of those. Still ends up more expensive, but, you know, it kind of evens out to a degree. Even if some feared that due to their despot pronouncing himself king in what was clearly a traditional inspired by griffins, the crowning ceremony would be pompous and unfitting, yet they were wrong. It was not in some cushy room that the first king of winter was crowned. Beneath the raging skies was a ceremony organized as great blizzards tore at frozen mountains. The bears that gathered, leaders of clans and their great elders, greatest of the warlords of fortress without clans, even some of the great eternal figures of bear society, were all clad, not in great clothes, but in great armors of enchanted steel and metal, stronger. And it was not some priest or some other figure that was waiting with a crown to pronounce the despot as a true king. Rather, the towering armored figure was stood beneath the assembled lords of the Urson kind, and veiled the crown himself, one he forged from steel, with motives of great beasts and visagers of war on the great iron circuit. Said circlet was surrounded by tin blades, each of which should serve as a proper sword for a pony or griffin. Beneath the gaze of the statue of the Allfather, King Joris of Winter crowned himself with the Iron Crown, taking up a new name, and the great warriors and warlords and beasts all cried out, "Hail the King of Ice and Frost!" Darn it! There goes the bonuses I was talking about. And we get a minus a whole... we become an inexperienced Imperialist. Okay. That's not actually that's not actually good effects, but sure. And these are legitimately bad effects that I'm getting right here, but oh well. Oh my goodness. Can we get some good effects, maybe? Okay, I have to go down a good bit before these effects actually change into good things. I mean, I want to go down... Okay, I can't even do that yet anyways, so never mind. Oh, that gives me a research slot, and that's early. That research slot's looking mighty fine. Differently from how... Okay, so I definitely want to get land back. But I don't have the stuff for it at all right now. We're just trying to figure out what's most important to do first. I want to get to that research slot. Yep. I gotta do it. And if I ever get some more military factories, that's what I'm doing next with those. Invite Harmonists of Vulgar to the court. Even if we emerge from our dealings with Clan Vulgar as superiors, the obligations between a lord and subject go both ways. Thus, in a sign of respect and showing that we follow our promises, we shall invite Era and Clan Vulgar elders to the royal court. Please win over there, because we're currently working to, like, improve our relations in the... because, so I really don't want you to, like, fall apart because of that. Like, I could really use you surviving, you know? How are things going over there? Not amazing, but could be worse. Not great, though. Not great. A princess in the tyrant's court. It was no great meeting of two clan leaders in a traditional sense, for there was no great march of armies, no brutal shows of strength, merely a personal and mostly civil meeting of two returned exiles, inspired by great leaders of other realms. And the agreement of Vulgar sending their warriors, elders, and scribes to the court of Winter King was easy. What was harder on the other side of Joris was to convince the princess that he was no enemy, for the leader of Vulgar had seemingly picked up a nasty southern habit of not rolling with her defeats. And thus they talked, through day and night, about politics, philosophy, rise and failures of kings and queens, and emperors and kaisers, Crescophonia and Equus, and in this spar of words that most elders would claim unearthsign, the ideas of harmony and friendship and environmentalism clashed with goals of modernism, status stability, and Groverite imperialism. Yet both king and princess agreed that stability and survival of Bear State was integral above all else, and upon this they built an agreement, one that would not be known to those that would not tolerate half measures, but one that suited them both. And by blood and steel they swore to respect it, and the princess bent her knee to the king once more. Established national parks. Clan Vulgar is greatly concerned with the state of the nature within our realm, fearful that hunting and harvesting the land will leave it barren, dead, and ugly. While this does not seem somewhat... this does seem somewhat absurd for many. Our king has seen such cases in Griffonia. Thus, the wish of Era will be granted on this. Woo! Everything's so expensive. Annoying. This new clan hierarchy sucks. I don't like it. It's bad. And so I feel I really am not happy with Equestria, like, you know, not doing well. Oh, that was not good. That was definitely some sort of weird naval invasion that completely failed. Yeah, that's definitely bad. Okay, these aren't... Okay, I guess I'll go with those, since these aren't more expensive. So at least I can do these now without costing me more. So I'll do these two next. Purely because cheaper. Establish ties with Equestria. Equestria is the hegemony of the continent. Yeah, I suppose. Kinda. Their influence reaches even the lands of Yaks. Princess Era suggests that we should establish some sort of relationship with the realm. For perhaps our ambitions are not the most harmonic in nature, and a good first impression might prevent wars that we cannot win. I mean, yeah, I suppose that makes sense if they weren't, like, mid-collapse at the moment. Can you, like, can we maybe, like, have you not be on mid-collapse? I'd like that quite a bit, personally. Alright, let's at least get that research slot. We need more research slots. 2 is not enough at all to get what I want done. Not at all. I need 3 at least. Dear Celestia, it started with Fluttershy helping Applejack with an apple delivery to Canterlot. This was while the Polar Bear Embassy just outside Canterlot was under construction. As Flutters told me, she felt scared by the sight of a terrifying ice castle being built by creatures who looked more brutal than Alenia's ancient Vikings. But we noticed her fear, and honestly, I was scared too. We all were. But we knew the bears hadn't come to fight us. After suffering millennium of strife, they reached out to us in a gesture of friendship, so we put aside our fears and traveled to the embassy together. And what do you know? The bears were much nicer than we thought. Their king, in Fluttershy's words, Jorik, may look rough, but he's sweet once you get to know him. Welcomed us into his ice castle, where we had a fruitful discussion on exchange students as well as trade issues before settling down for some homemade bear cuisine, which was surprisingly omnivorous. At the end of the day, they'd wish us to see us again. Especially King Jorik and Princess Era. Pinky's already making plans for hearth-warming parties soon. The bears also really like the Apple family apples. If there's one thing to take away from this, it's that in the tumultuous order of a new millennium, it is still a blessing to see friendship everywhere, even where we least expect it. You're ever faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Yeah, I'm sure that's a good, I'm sure that's a little blimp of happiness with what's going on right now. Like, they're like, man, at least there's some goodness going on. With good impressions made and connections established, tying ourselves with Equestria through trade could be useful, for this could not only help with modernization of our domain, but strong enough economic ties could serve to deter potential wars. Era hopes it would lead to harmony spreading in the north, but let's hope it doesn't. At least Equestria's got all their allies still in this. I can't really affect the Northern War too much, but maybe... And... they're already being pushed back so hard. Actually, I could send one to each of these sides, maybe? Well, they're all at war, so probably not. But, I could try to at least influence that. Because I really don't want, like, a lunar empire down here being a big threat to my future. And, the longer this goes, the more likely that's seeming to be what might happen. Which is, worrying. Most certainly, worrying. You want to spread some more? No, they're fighting back. Darn. Great, and the western parts have both gone communist now, so that's nice. The royal marriage. Heir of Clan Vulgar has achieved something unexpected, establishing friendship and forging a positive image of our kingdom. This could be dangerous or perhaps beneficial. By tying the destinies of our king and Princess Era, we can ensure she won't try a takeover, and our image can be harnessed for our benefit. True, though I'm not sure how good it'll do with Equestria for much longer, but she did give us an extra research slot. And honestly, I think marriage is worth a research slot. So, you know, it's a research slot. Come on. Gotta have research slots. Very important. Alright. Next, we're not gonna go down there yet. We're gonna begin going down, yeah, the middle path. 2 crowns. As the sun rose over the mountains, Princess Era and King George stood before a massive congregation, representing both Equestria and the polar bears. The 2 leaders exchanged heartfelt vows, with George promising to protect and cherish Era for all eternity. I vow to stand by your side through thick and thin, to support you to all your endeavors, and to love you more deeply with each passing day, Paul said, his eyes glistening slightly. Era beamed with joy as she returned to his sentiment. I vow to be your partner in all things, to encourage and inspire you, and to love you with all of my heart for as long as I live. Man, this is so this is so random, and I love it. I love just the random marriage. The crowd erupted in cheers and applause as the 2 leaders exchanged rings and sealed their union with a kiss. As they turned to face the congregation, George took Era's paw and raised it high. Bears and ponies, we present to you Princess Era, our new queen. Then she's not a princess. The crowd cheered once more, and Era blushed with delight. And may I present to you King George, my partner in life, and our proud leader, she retorted happily, and they both smiled in unison. After the ceremony, the newlyweds led a procession of guests to the reception hall, where a feast of polar bears, steaks, and equestrian apple pies awaited them. As they sat to the head of the table and surrounded by their closest friends and family, Era and George toasted to their future and the future of their nations. I couldn't be happier to be marrying you, my love, Era said, raising her glass. Nor I, my dear, George replied, clinking his glass against hers. A bond in polar bear spirit and harmony. How interesting. Come on, you got this. Random naval invasion. Nah. An example from Griffonian Empire. The Griffonian Empire is the greatest of realms that was forged by something... Oh, okay, we get a non-aggression pact. Cool. Something cooperative to a mortal creature. Not to mention it was born and reborn again on the crucible of war. While griffins are without doubt mostly weak and feeble creatures, growth of the divinely blessed lineage are something to be admired and learned from. After liberation, Equestria has agreed to a non-aggression pact with us. Princess Celestia has recognized the importance of maintaining stability and peace with us in the north, especially our pain from aggressive action against our people. This agreement also includes mutual respect for each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity. We hope that this will pave the way for a new era of cooperation and understanding between our new nations. May this be the start of a prosperous relationship. I'm tempted. Because that way I need more everything, though. Because I can't... I'd love to be able to be like, send in the troops, you gotta help them. But I don't have the troops to be able to help them. That's a bit of an issue. Just a bit of one, you know? Just a little issue, not having troops. I feel like I'm worse off this run than my last one. By a long shot. I need more everything. We might have forced the lords, both great and small, kneel before us and growl out an admission of defeat and our superiority. Yet promises were made of autonomy and greater power than ever, and they will be fulfilled. Just like Griffonian Empire has their councils of nobility, we will have our own. Thus, they could attack me, and I'd be completely defended up here if I helped them. Like, I want to so badly just come down there and do my best to help. Ooh, they're actually doing some work somewhere, doing some pushing in a place. I don't really know where, but they have some stuff down too, so nice. These guys have allied, which is a very interesting alliance. Let's see. There's a... Which path is that? Because one of the paths is the one where they, Yeah, that's... So they've gone with Extend the Federation path, which... Good. That one does not put them going to war with Equestria for some reason. Copy the Imperial Bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is an institution that is perhaps hard to understand for our species, and any attempt to force a bear to do paperwork would most likely lead to anger. Perhaps it's a good thing, then, that there are many griffins within our domain, for which such duty can be delegated. Whoa! Okay, let's get to... Not okay. I'll wait. Let's begin some justification. We need to go down there and help them. We're not letting Equestria fall. No. Not this time. Anyways. I'm just thinking of lore, you know? Thinking of interest. Because the last campaign was kind of a failure up here. And it all began with Equestria falling. So, what if there's reason we're back to do another playthrough? I don't know. Just thinking. Just a thinking. The Army of Winter. The first unification war was completed by merely the raised legions of Clan Skyfling. The second ended with the patchwork force of our legions, units gathered from subjugated clans and militias. As much as it saddens us, such a force representative of our ancient traditions cannot fight in modern age. Reforms are needed. Sure. I don't know why you'd want to, but whatever. Let's also sign a non-aggression pact with you now that we're working together. Oh, and with, where are you at? You. Why not? Because if we're over here, I need to help them get this around right here, because that could really turn this around. Come on, my bear troops! Hurry! The bears of the north are coming to help. What's up? Nah, not right now. Establish the arbitrators. A single realm must have a single law. Most beyond our borders would agree. Many within would not. Furthermore, our clans would not enforce it by themselves. It seems that we will have to enforce the king's law, even if it takes casualties, and it just so happens that there are plenty of clanless bears that would love to serve for such opportunities. Oh my goodness, they don't even have many troops over here. They have like nothing. They just are allies of Equestria, just can't get enough troops to the specific locations to fight them. But with us here, well, you can probably tell what's gonna happen now that we're here. Yeah, boy! Let's go. Let's help save Equestria. Let's do it. Begin the establishment of a central bank. We might hate gold, we might hate trade and exchange based on values that are not blood and strength. But a state needs an economy. It needs a currency. It needs flow of resources. It needs a central bank which can control all of it. Some stubborn Ursines might disagree, but we can always beat it into them. There we go. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go, Equestria. I'm glad to help in any way we can. In exchange, you're helping me get to war economy. Oh boy, we gotta go help them up here. They are being surrounded now. We need to help break those surrounds. Okay, that's our best path to breaking the surrounds now. Shatter the economic shell. Oh, never mind. They did it. Oh, wait, now we can get a surround. Shatter the economic shell. Modern economics are not something that fascinates or inspires bears. Too much complexity, too much obsession with numbers and things that one cannot grasp with their paws. It's a shell that limits our potential and one that must be shattered if we are to endure in the ever-changing world. We're just here to help them finish off some nice surrounds. Well, I am not at war with Chiroptera. Chiroptera will not join the war with me. Okay, that's fine. I don't need to be at war with you. Gold and currency. Gold is a weak metal. It bends against steel. It shatters against any strain of star steel. And yet griffins, ponies, dogs, deer, changelings, and even such great warrior species like yaks and minotaurs are willing to kill each other for this worthless metal, forging it into coins that define their domains. Sadly, this means we must follow suit. Now let's see if we can save whoever's... Actually, that doesn't need saving. It's connected to that place, but whatever. Then in that case, we'll push this way. See if we can just get a nice, easy, small surround. Nope. Apparently we can't, since they just immediately did that. So instead, we'll try to go this way. There we go. There we go. Good, good, good. On the gold standard. Gold was used for currency worldwide. Due to its rarity, its perceived inability to corrode, sometimes due to its ability to transfer energies, or even due to reactivity to certain magical abilities or items, it had gained a reputation for being rare and valuable. Perception of value, which grew beyond its value in protection and spellmaking. However, bears do not value gold. For them, it was a weak and meek metal, impossible to turn into any armor or weapons, at most being used for powered thunder armor, yet even then merely conduct magical occurrence. Thus, when King Joris announced that a golden currency would be issued to replace the systems of barter extreme rare starsteel coinage in hopes for assisting in modernity, some reacted with anger and disbelief that their monarch would make such a demeaning choice and challenged his decision. This started a great conflict between those that were signs that supported the change of coinage and those that opposed it. After several thousand duels and allegedly up to 10,000 dead, it was finally agreed that indeed the change to gold was necessary. Excerpt from Equestria in the land of always winter. Why are we doing this again? But I think this is past time in this episode. I lost track of time completely. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button. And as always, peace.